Usually goes, bro. The webinar is live.
The webinar is live, Hubert Lee, and
Oh my God,
you've
visually,
been going through
visually.
some challenges, man. How you feeling?
Oh man, I have to tell you, okay. So folks, I had some major dental surgery that I'm recovering from. But okay, so folks, I just want to recognize we usually don't have calls in the morning. Okay. And Ridgely is a morning person. I am not a morning person. Okay. And even though it's 11 a.m. Eastern, which is hardly morning according to Ridgely, who's the president of the Crack of Dawn Club, right?
Yeah.
I must say that I, folks, was here 12 hours ago. 12 hours ago, I, in a panic, texted Ridgely saying, I need one more minute. I need one more minute. And he's like, dude, what's up? I'm like, I'm so sorry I'm late for the mastermind meeting. And he's like, what's going on? I was so loopy from my major dental surgery with all the medicines and everything else. I had fallen asleep and left my light on with the computer on and everything. And I woke up looking at my alarm saying, it's 11:01. What happened? My alarm didn't go off. We're meeting with the mastermind right now. And Ridgely, I know you're an early bird, but I was 12 hours early.
Yeah, you were 12 hours too early. That's the point. So as I'm sitting here in my room having a very nice glass of wine with my wife, I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I'm like, okay, it's Hubert. He's got out there on some kind of dental drugs they gave him, whatever. Well,
Yeah.
welcome back to the real world, bro.
Well, thank you.
So
I'm
all
feeling
good.
nicely. Like my face is starting to, you know, resume its normal shape. So, folks, we have a jam-packed session today, and we have a hot seat that we're gonna, kick off in a few minutes. Um, but I do want to close the loop on something originally. A couple of sessions ago, um, we had mentioned that actually you had dropped the tidbit that you were filming for well, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but the topic was how to think like AI. So the group wants to know how did that go, and could they please have a synopsis of how to think like an AI?
Yeah. So, yes, there is a summit going on in a couple of weeks, in about 10 days, and I'll get a notice out to everybody for sure, called the AI Writing Summit. It's put on by Carrie Richards and Tom Morks, good people um, who run InfoStack. And the topic being so hot, have gotten about 1.5 million emails
Wow.
together from the people who are contributing something to this. And so obviously to get that many emails, unless you're one of the whales of the industry, you're talking about getting together 25, 30 experts to each contribute, who can also then contribute with a mailing to aggregate that number. So it's a big number. Anyway, I don't generally participate in a lot of these, only because I've done a billion of them already. I just got tired of it. But this one was like, okay, those are some big numbers, so let's take a look at it. And so, of course, I'm coming in late. And so all of the easy topics, how to write the best prompts, how to do this, how to do that, they're all gone, right? Somebody's already got that. And so they asked me, what would you really want to talk about? What do you think would be valuable to the people? And it's what we talk about on this mastermind all the time, which is it's not about getting another great prompt. It's about how can you think more like this crazy tool called AI that gives us access to this collective mastermind, Hubert's concept, that is the biggest knowledge base in the world. And so, how do you get your brain to be, wait a second, I don't need to depend on me anymore. I have this resource that I can tap into on a constant basis. And never mind that it eliminates the blank screen or the blank paper syndrome, where you're staring at the blank screen or paper going, what do I write about today? OMG, I have a blog post that's due. How am I going to get this done? La, la, la. Never mind that it takes care of that. But how can you say to yourself, wait, I mean, this happens to me almost daily, Hubert Lee. I start, the old me opens up a Google Doc. Okay, here we go. I got to write some copy. And then after I start with subject line, I go, wait a second, what am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I doing that? When instead I could start either old school way with prompt creator and create a prompt about what I'm going to write about, or new, even faster way, which by going to PAFAI Brain and going into the brain and getting it kicked off first. Because here's the thing, the tool is better than you. And I mean the tool's better than me, and I mean the tool's better than everybody. If you know how to talk to AI today about what you're trying to accomplish, the output that you're going to get from the tool is better than what you can come up with yourself. Not even a little better, probably significantly better. Of course, once you have that initial piece, you can add your mojo, you can add your magic, you can add your personal flair, your flavor, whatever it may be. But the idea that we would not use a tool that is better, faster, more efficient, and infinitely easier than doing it yourself is just not smart. So my entire presentation was, hey man, let's stop trying to effort at this thing and see if we can't get yourself into a mindset that says, wait, let me use the tool first, and then let me think like the tool so that I can get more output at a faster rate. And it went great. In fact, it went so well that the interviewer, Tom, one of the founders, said to me, man, I really want to talk to you more. We just ran out of time. Would you be up for being on my podcast?
There you go.
Like, of course, Tom, I'll be on your podcast. Hey, Tom, you want to be on my podcast?
Uh,
Right. So it's just so nice when something like that happens and you get somebody that gets it and they immediately understand that the take that I personally had was a little bit different than everybody else's take. All the takes valuable, but this particular one, how to think like AI, is I really believe at the one of the foundational elements of what we do here at this mastermind, Hubert.
well, excellent, excellent work. So, of course, listening to your story, I had no doubt that actually coming in last and having all the topics taken already would actually be an inspiration to Ridgely to come up with the best topic of all, Ridgely. So, I mean, this is what you do.
Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. It was fun. It was fun. It was a very rapid fire, man. And he had all these rapid fire questions and all that stuff. And I'm like, I don't know who you're planning on stumping, but it ain't me, babe.
There you go. That's excellent. Also, too, I just want to drop a little preview of something based on something that you talked about. You gave a little mini lesson right there about reciprocity, about first you demonstrated extreme value, right? Then you got yourself invited to his podcast. And right away you said, sure, that's great. And then you come on mine, right?
Yeah.
And so originally, next week we have our monthly open house.
Mm-hmm.
And due to popular demand and the confluence of several other things, we're making the topic of it Ridgely and Hubert on product launches and JV hacking. So Ridgely, we've gotten so enamored of the partner attraction formula and limbic messaging and AI. I dare say most of our current members don't even realize that you and I have forgotten more than most people know about product launch management. That we were there at the founding days of the product launch formula and everything else. And next week, folks, you got to tune in for that show because that one will be a doozy.
Yep. We're going to talk about launches, man. So for a quick preview, if you don't know, product where Hubert and I met was because we both signed up for the product launch manager training, which is a training offered by Jeff Walker, founder of Product Launch Formula and a very good friend. One time, he thought he was going to offer it on an ongoing basis. He offered it once. And his lawyer said, this sounds too much like a franchise. Do you want to go through the process of getting all the franchise documentation, et cetera, et cetera? He said, no, killed the program, never offered it again. So there were only 35 people in the world, personally trained by Jeff Walker. Most of us then joined the Platinum Group for several years. And we did literally dozens of product launches, online launches, many millions of dollars. It was a great experience back when. And we look forward to sharing the power of that tool, which is still being used successfully today.
Yes, and it's an incredible thing. And so, folks, you make sure to tune in next week for that. Okay, originally, why don't you bring on our first hot seat of today, and as Dr. Jean, okay,
Right.
with her business partner, Maya.
Yep. I'm bringing them on. Welcome. Here we go. By the way, it's really lovely here. I'm very happy that my go-to resting place of Akumal, Mexico now has internet that is faster than mine at home. And as a result, I am sitting here overlooking the Caribbean Sea with the waves crashing in the background. And it is a beautiful thing.
Excellent. Okay. All right. So, Dr. Jean, turn your camera
So
on, please,
Dr.
if you
Jean
can.
is going to stay off camera. I fell and I have stitches and black eyes, and so we're going to stay audio today.
Okay.
But I bet that Nehemiah can be on camera, and he's better looking than I am anyway.
It wasn't me. I didn't push her. I promise. I promise.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Nehemiah, I think I mispronounced your name. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. You're good. Good.
I threw in a D instead of realizing it was an H.
Yeah.
And there you are, brother.
Good to see you.
Beautiful Akumal. I love Akumal, by the way. I love it. I miss that place.
I'll say hi to the turtles for you, brother. Akumal, by the way, for those that don't know, is Mayan for land of the turtles. And right outside my window, there are giant turtles on an ongoing basis that we go swimming with. So it's very cool.
Okay, great. Now, Ridgely, I'll let you conduct this interview. You can have them catch us up with where they're at, and they want to have you and I look at some of their homework.
Perfect. Let's do it.
So one of the last times we were on, we talked about developing a landing page and a video for a landing page. And as the content manager here, the content generator, that's my lane. I went into the PAF brain and said, so here's who we are and what we do, and look at this website. And then in all of the choices that are available within the PAF brain, I decided that the brand story was one that I wanted to see. And we really liked that. And so I tweaked the script a little bit and then sent it to Nehemiah, and he has created a video, and we would like some feedback on both the words, the language, and the video itself. So we volunteered for the hot seat.
Fantastic. I'm excited. Now I got my pen ready.
I knew it was going to happen, Ridgely. Inviting comment, pen required.
Exactly.
Okay, so you guys will share your screen and play the video?
Yes, I can do that. Share screen. Share sound. Okay. And let me do that. This right here. Share. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
All right. All right. Here's the video, and I'll just go.
Do you make it big?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll do that. Can you see the screen? Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. In the heart of every small enterprise lies a giant dream. At Start Lean, Finish Big, we understand that every entrepreneur's vision is a journey from ambition to fulfillment, a journey we are committed to guiding you through. Our every action, every solution, and every innovation is dedicated to your dream. We believe that your business, no matter how small, deserves the power to scale, grow, and reach its full potential. We don't just provide tools, we empower you to unlock the potential of your enterprise. We live in a dynamic world where technology is constantly evolving and transforming the landscape of business. We leverage the power of AI technology and automation to revolutionize your operations, catapult your productivity, and streamline your processes. We understand that wearing all the hats in your business can be exhausting. That's why we focus on transitioning your operation from being human dependent to system supported. By embracing automation technology, we eliminate the bottlenecks and replace them with smooth, streamlined operations that facilitate growth. But we're not just about AI and automation, we're about people too. We believe in the power of the connection, which is why we'll walk beside you every step of the way. We'll guide you towards AI-driven solutions that not only revolutionize your business operation, but also enhance productivity and pave the way for sustainable success. We're here to maximize your time, your profits, your productivity, because you deserve more than just growth. You deserve sustainable success. You deserve to see your vision become a reality. You deserve to thrive in this ever-evolving landscape of entrepreneurship. Remember, start lean, finish big, because your vision matters. Right.
Cool. All right. I got like 6 takes.
Very,
Hubert,
very, very cool. I have like 4 takes.
Okay.
All right. Should I go first, Rich?
Up to you.
Okay.
My turn to have a pen now, Ridgely.
No. So let's combo this. I'm going to throw out my initial thoughts, and then let's just see if Ridgely resonates with them or not, and then kind of think about his and then hone in on it. So just a couple of first overall things. My first off, excellent. Okay. First observation is not enough footage of Nehemiah and too much footage, the stock footage. Okay, you need to take advantage of the fact that you're very presentable on camera and don't use the stock photos, the stock videos as a crutch. Okay. Further, I use a lot of stock photography and videography. Okay, and I'm very sensitive to certain things that kind of like just scream like, I'm not going to say bad stock, but there was like a cut there with like the brother with the crazy afro thing. Okay, that segment you just got to cut. Okay, it's just like, you know, it's too distracting to have like the big haired thing going on and all of that. So I would definitely cut that one. Okay. Now, overall,
a bald Chinese guy instead, man. You're good.
There you go. Right. There you go. So, overall, I think the length is too long, and the script itself needs to be tightened. Okay, because I think some of the languaging refers to the same exact points. Okay. Now, then also at the beginning, there was too much verbiage until you get to the "we believe." That first limbic statement, actually, I think if you look at your script, you can actually take that entire limbic part, start off with that, and make the whole thing tighter. Okay, there was too much exposition before the first limbic statement. Okay, and I think originally it needs to be tuned a little tighter, that like it's more actionable to them as to like what these guys are talking about, kind of a thing. Now I know that it's going to be offset a little bit because the video is surrounded by a page that explains, you know, the context. But you know, getting closer to the viewer sooner and tighter is my impression. Actually, what do you think of those comments?
Okay, so first of all, I 1000%, my first note was, wait a second, man, let's not get people into their neocortex. Let's start right away with, at name of the company, we believe, so that somebody immediately initiates the process of nodding their head in your favor. So 1000% agree with that limbic comment that Hubert made. Get that right out front before talking about other stuff, because you want somebody to begin that nodding their head process as fast as you can. It's just a shift in sequencing. Leaving aside the fact that obviously it's hard to buffer here and get the lip sync to be correct, I'm going to make the assumption that the lip syncing on the real video is correct and not, because right now it was off. So leaving that apart. Okay. If you do what Hubert suggested, bringing in lower thirds, which is to put more Nehemiah on camera, bringing in lower thirds to emphasize some of the things you were saying really, really works. And so I'm going to pull up Federico's online. I'm going to pull up one of Federico's videos. He's just ridiculously good at doing videos, right? He's like the master at this stuff. I'm going to pull up one of the ones where that, and it's going to take me a second to find it, but I'll find it in just a second when Hubert starts talking again. That takes somebody who is purposely bad not great, because we have to do a lot of subject matter experts, right? We have to film a lot of dentists, we film, you know, accountants, we film people like that are not very good on camera. And one of the techniques that we use is lower thirds to pop in some stuff. So you said a couple of things that were really cool. One of them was go from human dependent to system supported.
Mm-hmm.
I immediately wrote that down, because that's the perfect thing that goes on a lower third. Human dependent, arrow, 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 system supported, right?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of a thing on screen locks in a concept that is really good, because the AI automation thing, etc. But that hook was really good. And then same thing later on, start lean, finish strong, or something like that. You said, I can't remember. I'm writing too fast. I couldn't quite capture that one.
Yeah.
But that same thing, putting those as a lower third, especially because you present very, very well, Nehemiah, way better than most. You don't need this per se, but it locks the concept in. So when it's on you, especially, it's like Nehemiah has spoken. This is what he just said. These
Gotcha.
words in the bottom drives home a point. I thought that was very good.
Okay, cool.
The you deserves at the end, I thought were excellent also. A series of you deserve, you deserve, you deserve. I like those a lot. I thought those were powerful.
Awesome.
Personally, I got to bring up Federico here for a second. I'm bringing Fede on too. Fede, if you can come on, I'm going to invite you to give your thoughts on this. Because when we're talking video, got to bring the master on as well. I thought that music was too soft, man. I was like, I would have, you know, this is an exciting thing, not me walking through the lobby of the hotel. And it's soft and beautiful because there are birds of paradise lining the side of the, I don't think so, man. I mean, this is like, we're rocking it here. You know, we're we're in that space of wanting to jam and be more upbeat. So I personally thought the music was a little too soft. And then my last comment is, and then I want to end with something before I ask Fede for his thoughts. CTA's got to be really clear at the end. What are you telling them to do?
Yeah.
What are they supposed to do next? So before I say anything further, obviously the first thing we're going to see are the things that we improve.
Yeah.
But I want to start out by saying, really well done. I mean, that's a very well done video, excellent work, good transitions. Scripting was rock solid. These were all tweaks that we're offering. So I want to say, well done. Fede, your thoughts. I'm going to go find somebody from some accountant or something here to show the example.
Oh yeah. Oh, those are scary. Yeah. I thought you were going to show some of our better work. Yeah.
No, we're not. We're going to show examples of how you make
right. Yeah.
Better.
So, good to see you, Federico. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, Hugh. It's absolutely great. Nehemiah, you just have such a great personality in that, you know, in that space. And I second what everybody else has said, especially, you know, and if you read the comment section, it's yeah, we need more you.
I was just going to say, Nehemiah, you're a hit with the ladies. They're all like, what a cute.
I was trying to cut out more of me. I was
no, you're going the wrong way, brother.
No.
Okay.
We need more. We definitely need more of you.
Okay.
From the script, here is a comment, and Ridge, I would love for you to expand on this. In the initial part of the video, it's like, okay, why am I watching this, and what's the pain that I'm going through? As to why is it that you solve this? Because it didn't hit me. You didn't grab me because I wasn't clear on what my problem was. You know,
so I think that's an interesting point that both of you and Ridgely have brought up. And this is it's not meant to be a pain point CTA. It's supposed to be, this is our story. So it's a story script, not a sell you script.
And this still part. So here's my question then: how is the story then relevant to me, the viewer? I think then this is the pivot that we need to work on a little bit more.
Okay, that's great.
Unless Gene is saying that this goes on the about page or something like that.
It does. That's what this is. This is more like who are you working with here? This is like the about page one. And she made me do like 20 something videos of other ones that
He's
of
not
the-
lying.
I've done 23 videos in the last week and a half. So, but this one's more like
Way
the
to go.
About Us page. Yeah.
Yeah,
One.
yeah. And you know, and back to the point with okay, so but still, Hugh, I mean, wouldn't you want to,
Yes.
you know, bring that relevance? And it's like, you know, still,
Mhm.
you know, you've got to tweak me
Yes.
in
No, no,
terms of
for sure. Because think of it this way. Even whatever aspect it is, the about us or the thing about the
Mhm.
product or the more sizzly one, whichever video version you have out there, and they're all going to be out there at once. Let's say you come up with a multi-part email sequence that features each one, that drives them to a landing page with each specific video. No matter which one it is, it should have a call to action that leads to the sales page so that you can close the person. Right.
Gotcha.
And so it's going to be a multi-part kind of a close. We'll go more into that next week with the product launch stuff. But a strong call to action, regardless of the intention of the video, is important. And I think these guys are onto something with the suggestion of the lower third.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me show that real quick. Let me just
Great.
like quick
Yeah.
example, because
Yeah.
So before you do that, originally, Nehemiah, I'm going to continue to take notes. I know that you have to go.
Yep.
So we'll circle around and I'll fill you in later.
Okay, perfect. I got 2 minutes. I'm a tough it out.
Then if we need to do this, Nehemiah, I have one more comment for you.
Oh, yes.
Shift the music partway through. You can't have me 3 minutes on the same, you know, on the same tune.
Okay.
Shift it, interrupt it, change tempo. You know, just make some shifts in there so that there's a completely different energy around it, and it will
Okay.
feel completely different.
So
And this
is
is
it switching the songs or is it just changing the tempo?
No, change the song completely.
Okay, change the
Like
song
multiple
completely.
times, you know, whenever something shifts, I don't like to do more than 45 seconds to a minute on a single song, because it just gets, you know, you just get sort of sucked into the energy and the cadence of the song,
Yeah.
and it like lulls you, right? But just
Yeah.
shift it up a little bit here and there. Like, for example, when you go into the we believe statements, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, just boom, shift it, uplifting, moving.
I love it.
You know,
I can do that.
and play with your tempo too, as you're talking with this, because this keeps people on.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see this, and then yes, please keep taking notes because I got to see it. Yeah.
so I'm going to advance this video a couple times.
Okay.
So it kicks off.
Hey there, Ridgely Goldsberry here from Harding Szymanski, and I am joined to.
And then we go
So
to
let's kick this off. What is re-credentialing and revalidation?
very boring stuff.
Re-credentialing and revalidation is a process
So-
that follows the provider's initial credentialing.
Get her name
with
in
the
there
payer.
first.
It does
but
occur
then-
every 2 to 5 years, depending on that payer-specific guidelines.
Very
But it's a
boring
really good
content.
Process because it ensures that the
And then we drop in a lower third. What the heck she's
Gotcha.
talking about.
I got you.
Super easy to do. This one is almost too many words.
Yes.
Mhm.
Something like human dependent arrow systems supported. Really cool to drop that in. And
Cool.
sometimes Enrico will drop it in the middle of the screen, the whatever, but the easiest one is lower thirds. Any comment on that, Fede?
Got
Yeah,
it.
exactly right. It's huge because, again, going back into the limbic thinking, you are hearing something and you're seeing it at the same time. It's like one is reassuring the other because the input is coming through different senses. So it's like a surround sound effect, you know, in limbic terms.
Right. It's both visual and auditory. That's really
Exactly.
cool. We
And
have
then
some
you can
tools
really
even-
start owning and, you know, owning those terms and attributing them to, you know, what it is that you do. So this is very powerful.
That's great. Good feedback. We have a couple of tools that we've been playing with, so we'll be able to do that one with no problem.
Great.
Hey, pull up your Banky video and show that one. Others, you can show off a little bit while you're here, man. Come on.
Super
Yeah.
conference
So-
promo. Let's
So
see.
this is just for everybody can see what it looks like when you take something to the next level. So excellent work, Gene and Nehemiah. I know Nehemiah had to drop, but
He did.
let me show you what what it looks like when you're like, okay, I'm going to take this, I'm going to kick this up, I'm going to use nothing but B-roll, I'm going to go from live video to live video to live video, switching music, etc. Federico is in the middle of doing a big promotion for one of our clients for a big event that they have up and coming soon. And this is legitimately great.
Yes.
But I will
Okay.
also tell you, Ridgely, that it's really awesome that we can take words from one meeting, go and play with it, and then bring something back and get more feedback. So as somebody mentioned in the chat, it's really awesome to be able to do that and know that the comments that we're going to get are simply that, they're comments and suggestion. They don't feel like, wow, what the heck were you guys thinking? So I really appreciate the environment and the safety net that you guys provide for us.
Well, thank you. And something is really terrible. I'll try not to say it anyway. Just say
It's not true. Ridgely tells it like it is.
I'm pretty sure that I might get a private email that says, yo, Gene,
No,
we
no,
were
no.
just being polite. Sweetie, you got to do something about that. Because I don't get called bro.
That's right. Heather, you got this?
Okay, I got this. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Let me know that you're watching this.
Hold on, pull it up full screen. It's started screen sharing.
Yep.
There we go. Make it bigger if you can.
I will, yes. Hopefully it will continue. Are you still seeing?
Yeah,
Yes.
perfect.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Wait, this is okay. Here we go.
Tonight at the Extraordinary Banking Awards, we are recognizing the elite of the elite, the best banks in America.
The Banky Award is the mark of distinction of great banking. It's for community banks that make a huge difference in their market, those that are creating an outstanding customer service experience, those that can prove that they have an outstanding culture, and those that are also a well-run bank.
When we started in 2017 and heard all the stories of how great these banks are, never in our world did we imagine that we would be here today being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Do you guys see? So first we have moving video, then we have music that's shifting, then we go to social proof in a testimonial, then we have a lower third. So just, I wanted to, well, we'll play the rest of it for a sec here so people can see, but if you can see, this is the master at work, right? This is every single element being used in multiple fashions to create really a masterpiece of work. I'll show the rest of it for a second.
Yeah, and just a caveat there, and we're talking about banks. I mean, this is nothing sexy, right?
And Fede, go back a few seconds so that we can see the lower third come back up.
Will do. Yeah. Okay, here I am. Okay. Oh, the total assets? Yeah, I mean, there's social proof everywhere here. Are you listening, Hugh?
Yep. Go, bro. Just hit it.
Okay, just hit it. Okay.
Did we imagine that we would be here today being inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Our vision is to inspire, protect, and celebrate anything that helps communities thrive. To be included in banks in that nature, that you're giving back to the community and recognized for it, we're very proud.
You're bringing enlightened banking to your community. You need to stand out as being the kind of bank that your customers understand. That's why the Banky Award exists. Learn from the best of the best at the conference as the finalists share their best ideas about how to be a great banker. Several bank CEOs have told me that they get 2 years worth of implementation ideas just from taking notes from what the finalists are doing.
A few short years ago, I thought I was just feverishly taking notes of how's that bank doing that? How do we do this? And learning so much information from all of these other companies. And now I have people asking me.
It's your opportunity to be amongst the elite, hang out with those who get it, and figure out how to get to and stay in top of peers in performance, impact, culture, client experience, and impact on the community in terms of financial literacy. And if you should be so fortunate as to win a Banky Award, others have told us it's been a game changer for their business. One bank CEO said to me that the year that they won the Banky Award, their loans grew 8 times more than they ever had previously. I look forward to your application for the Banky Award, and even more forward to seeing you at the event, hopefully receiving your Banky Award.
Great job.
Yeah.
Great video.
Non-sexy stuff made excellent by a master who takes every single element and brings them all in. You could see, you saw the social proof, multiple pieces of social proof. You saw the actual clients. You saw the clients that the banks serve as well. And then lower thirds being used, music being used, and constant motion of the video. That's as good as it gets. So anyway,
Yep.
I'm glad I don't do that. I'm going to show Nehemiah and tell him that ours has to look that good.
Yes.
It's a good thing that he's in Texas and I'm in Illinois, because otherwise I would have another black eye.
Well, so that said, let me say this, that while those things are all very exciting, when you do have the on-camera talent, when you have a Nehemiah or you have a Ridgely, and I'm going to ask Fede to speak about this, many of these techniques that Federico does is to overcome the lack of talent. When you do have somebody that's very impactful on camera, using that and leveraging that is very important. What do you think, Federico?
I totally agree. And you actually saw a lot of the CEOs there, a lot of who usually, I mean, they weren't that good on camera, but the way that we capture that interview and that we engage them into that high level performance, that's something that we've sort of specialized in doing, and yes, having that talent that in Nehemiah that's a godsend, because otherwise, I mean, you really have to work hard, kind of the way I did. I mean, that guy that you saw in the car, talking about, it's like, oh yeah, it was unbelievable. That guy couldn't complete a sentence. Okay, when we first started working together. He was worse than me, Ridge, and you know that's really bad.
We all have our talents. Federico's incredibly good behind the camera.
Indeed. Yeah.
Thank you, Federico.
So I hope that clarified things a little bit. And Gene, I hope this helped you as well in terms of getting ideas and possibilities and where you can start taking this.
Yes, it's super helpful, and I knew that it would be. And I'm sorry that Nehemiah didn't have more time, but I will share the recording with him so that he can see this part as well. And we really do appreciate the time and the comments. And people are saying that this was good for them too. So I'm glad that other people were able to learn from our experience as well.
Well, thank you. All right, Gene. Thank you, Fede. Thanks as
All
well.
right.
Yes, thank you.
Man. Catch up a little later. Thanks, guys.
Good luck, Gene.
Thank you.
So.
Good job, Ridgely. Nice hot seat there.
All right, where are we going? What are we doing?
Just to follow up. I know that you often give advice about if or how to be in front of the camera or what not to do. Can you just go over some of your basic pointers again about not trying to freeze up or whatever? Or like, how does somebody get comfortable in front of the camera, or at least start learning to?
So when I was first hired to be the host of a Modest to Millions television show by Mark Cuban's company, the Success Training Network, or TSTN, out of Dallas. I remember that the director, who was a famous director dude, and somehow, I don't know how I got this lucky, but the other people in TSTN were Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, Dennis Waitley, Brian Tracy, all these huge luminary personal growth guys. And I got the biggest budget of any show because it was called Modest to Millions. It was all about the journey from people who started with nothing to go to extraordinary success. And I was the subject matter experts host. So I would host somebody who would come on, who'd made it big. And then I would, had the opportunity to interview them and go through this process. And they put it in this big mansion in the middle of Dallas, which cost a fortune to rent. And it was a big production. Anyway, I'll never forget this famous director guy just continuously saying to me, "You cannot smile enough. You cannot smile enough. I don't care if what you're saying is causing the tears to stream down your face. Just keep smiling while the tears come down. Because when you stop smiling, people do not trust you unless you're making some kind of negative emphasis point." And it was over and over and over. Ridgely, smile. Ridgely, smile. Ridgely, smile. Ridgely, smile. I'm like, shut up. I'm trying to smile over here. And so that was part one. The other thing he said is you have to soften your eyes. So otherwise, people get in front of the camera and suddenly they begin to look like a member of a terrorist group from some obscure place in the world where they do bad things to everybody, right? And you just can't do that. And Fede knows this too, because he has to deal with this with people who get intimidated by a camera. You got to soften your eyes. And so some people will say things like, think of a puppy, think of a baby laughing, do something for a moment to just soften your eyes. And so in working with people, I would say that if you had to pick just two things to focus on, because everything else is hard enough to get the words out, the two things are smile and soften your eyes.
That's great.
The other piece that is really worth spending a little bit of time on if you're doing any type of serious video is understanding how to use a teleprompter. Because there's just tricks if you know how to use a teleprompter. Google, go YouTube a video, whatever, check it out so that you know that you're far enough away that people can't see that you're reading, that where you're positioned, where your script is positioned actually works. There are places where it does work and places where it doesn't. Let me give you an example. If I don't want to cloud my screen because I'm trying to look at somebody, but my script is off to the right, even if I don't turn my head, if I'm glancing at my script, you can tell that I'm not really there. You can't do that. So you want to understand how to use a teleprompter and do some practicing. Practice makes perfect, of course. So there you go. Those my tips are smile, soften your eyes. And of course, there are some fundamental basics about even doing Zooms, right? And most of these I learned from Federico. If you notice where Hubert and I are, our eyes are 1/3 down the screen, so that there's 2/3 below the eyes. This is the best place for them to be. Obviously, the reflections that I currently have, because I'm in the Caribbean off the water, are not particularly helpful for my glasses. So paying attention to details matters. But if I were to say three things, if you're using a teleprompter, learn how to use it, soften your eyes, smile.
Great. And then I'm going to add a fourth. It's about repetition. Of course, that's my answer. Never expect that you're going to turn on the camera and do it in one take. Okay, I'm graced with a partner originally. I call him Mr. One Take, who can do it. But even now, for him to do that one take, I mean, it's a concentrated effort. Like Ridgely himself can do in one day of filming an entire course that would take, I mean, we're talking about weeks of doing it otherwise, but it takes a big effort. It takes many, many years of training.
All right, what are we doing?
Great, excellent. Okay, good work, everybody. We do have our next hot seat question, and I'm reaching out to Bridget here, asking Bridget if she wants to come on camera to ask her question. Otherwise, I'll read it, but hoping that she's able to come on. So let's take a look. Bridget says okay, so let's bring Bridget up.
All righty, let's do this. No way.
Hello, Bridget.
Hello, hello, hello.
There you are. Look at you.
Thanks
Great
for
to see
taking my question.
Yes.
I know it's
Okay.
quite long, but I'm sure
Okay.
we can
So
get through it in 5 minutes.
no. Hopefully we have somebody on that has some insight on this, and if not, this will be in the recording, and eventually we will get an answer. I have a partial answer for you, but let's explore your question.
Okay.
All right. So why don't you read your question or just ask it?
I don't have the question in front of me, but basically I'm really interested in finding out more about business grants. And the key to a grant is you don't have to pay it back. But what's eluding me is I know there's some people out there that will help you find grants for a fee. And there's a website that I checked out that you can pay a fee to get grants, but then you're pretty much on your own to fill out the answers. And a bunch of questions came up for me, like how do I answer this, that they are inspired to award the grant? I mean, who knows? There could be 100,000 people entering for one grant that's $10,000. That's a lot of people. and a pretty low chance of getting it. So I'm just curious if you've had any experience, or if you have any idea of like, how would we use AI to answer these questions regarding the business? I just gave you some of the questions that they're asking, and I put in one answer. So hopefully you
Right.
can.
So I bumped it again. So originally, why don't you take a look at that email that I just bumped, and while I tell my story about this, and this is pre-AI, okay? And so I have a brother-in-law who he and his girlfriend, they run an organic farm in New York, okay, in New York State. And small farms in many states, there are organizations, including the state itself, that is well funded, and they are just like dying to give away money to small farmers. Okay, so my brother-in-law's girlfriend is an extremely talented grant writer. Okay, so that's a thing. Okay, being a grant writer. So she was a into historical architecture and stuff like that, and for museums would used to write grants, and now she's an organic farmer and she writes grants. Okay, so there's a whole discipline of grant writing. Okay, and the reason why I'm telling this story is, you know how when you create a prompt and you say act as such and such, one initial contribution I can give you about this is, act as an expert grant writer with experience in the field of XYZ, and help me answer the following questions, and then explain your thing. And anyway, the persona that you want the AI to adopt in this particular case is a grant writer, because there is such a specialty I can offer. All right, Ridgely, do you see the questions, and like how would we approach using AI to answer these types of questions? And also before that, if anybody out in the chat there has experience with getting grants for small businesses and applying for a grant and so forth, could you please jump in and weigh in with advice, please?
So to further Hubert's points, I don't know anything about grant writing per se, but I'm in this mastermind called AI that knows everything about grant writing, right? So with our collective client, a client that you've been working on, also Bridget, Team Group, and Natalie's part of our mastermind, they came to me and said, I would like our slide deck and our presentation materials and our stuff to be because we were charged with creating new presentation materials to help them get more jobs. Big jobs. These are big. Almost every contract is a 7-figure, not 6-figure, 7-figure contract. So obviously it's quite sophisticated. So they're willing to spend, good money to help get better content presentation materials. And then they said, and I've sent my entire team to this thing called the Action Selling Framework. And I want our presentation materials to be reflective of the Action Selling Framework. So here's how I then went to use AI. I could have said to myself, oh man, I'm going to have to go learn this Action Selling Framework. And they gave me access to the courses, and they gave me logins, and they gave me everything. And then I said to myself, but I don't really have to become an expert at this. In fact, if something is a well-studied process with AI, you don't have to become an expert at it at all. And you don't even have to buy the course, because it's going to be online. So let me share my screen and bring up what I did. So I then went to the whole thing and said, oh, there's an action selling program. There's a pre-call, an initial call, and a follow-up call. What happens? There's an act 1, act 2. There's actually 7 total acts that matter. There's an 8th one, confirm, then a 9th one, replay the call. But the 7 initial acts are part of this framework. And then I went in and said, and grabbed a little one blurb about this particular thing. Act 1 is a commitment objective. And then I went to ChatGPT and I said, act as an expert sales leader knowledgeable about the action selling framework. Ask me a series of questions to help me with Act 1 commitment objective. In your dialogue, coach me in implementing this act. And the output that I got was, absolutely, I'd be happy to guide you through Act 1. And note, at the moment, I'd spent 20 minutes on action selling framework, something that takes a team 2 or 3 days to go through. And it says, commitment objective of the action. The commitment objective is a crucial first step that sets the stage for the entire sales process. It's about defining a clear, achievable goal for your sales call that moves the sale forward. Let me dive in with some questions to help you define your commitment objective effectively. Then AI gave me all the questions. Understand the customer's current situation, identify desired outcomes, assess the sales stage, define a realistic commitment, measure success, plan for obstacles, align with customer value, next steps. Great. By answering these questions, you'll be able to define a clear and effective commitment objective. Now, obviously, this is a fair amount of work, but look what it said. Would you like to go through these questions one by one to craft your commitment objective? Answer yes. I answer yes, please. And then boom, here we go. Right into one at a time, walk through the whole process. And basically AI helped craft the prompts to help anybody coming into the company that hired us, whether or not they went through the action selling framework, to use the framework itself to craft all of the needed content to then be able to use in the presentation. So my thought is, although this may sound convoluted, there's got to be some stuff out there on expert grant writing.
I am so glad you set it up this way, because I'm going to share my screen, because the second Ridgely started showing his thing, I said, oh, I totally understand what Ridgely's talking about. So look, I went and looked up framework for writing grants. Okay. There's one called the 5 R's of grant writing. Okay. There's one called the 6-step grants writing formula. There's one called, so what you need to do is go and do the research. There's the GRANTS formula. I mean, there's like a bunch of these grant writing proposal frameworks. So what I'm saying to you is go and look up, these frameworks, and then take the approach that Ridgely did and have them act as a grant writer, use the following framework. And I like to always do this. Help me write the grant for me as a graphic designer doing this, that, and the other thing. Explain to me why this approach would work, and explain the framework as it goes along. Because what Ridgely did with the example that he gave, he wound up writing, he and I, a coaching wizard kind of a thing that actually walks you through the process and educates you as to the process while you're using it. Ridgely, that's the real value of what we run.
And if you want, I can share that with you, Bridget. Also, the crazy part about that is, yes, it's a bit of work, but if it's free money in your case, or $1 million contracts in the case of the client, do the damn work, right? I mean, do the damn work and get it. Because I know when I sent this initially to our client, the sales guy was like, OMG, man, this is going to be like so brutal to get through this. And I'm like, dude, what kind of commission are you making on a $2 million contract? Sit down and just go use AI to coach you to come up with killer content. I mean, it's not even that complicated. I don't have to figure this out, right? When you've got a framework, which you have, because Hubert just found 3 or 4 of them, find the one that resonates the most with you, tell them what to do, and tell them to coach you to write it. And then you don't have to. You just you can use voice if you like, not typing.
That's great.
So that's kind of the jump start that we can give you at this point. So
yeah, because it's not again, this is the difference of talk about the beginning of this call. It's the difference between thinking like AI and efforting, right? The framework's already out there for successful grant writing. Why would I try to reinvent that? Even why would I want to write the prompt for that? If it's already out there, I'm going to go grab it and I'm going to use it better than the other 1,500 people that are competing for this grant.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I couldn't think of that on my own. I needed your help.
I mean, that's why we're in a mastermind. It's the collective. We get together and everybody helps everybody else out, and it's wonderful. But that's exactly what I did. And by the way, for everybody that's out there, no matter what you're working on, if it's something that you believe is going to be widely adopted on throughout the world, and that there are many people talking about it, like selling, the action selling framework. There are many frameworks for selling out there. This happens to be one that's very popular and very effective, by the way. Or grant writing. There's going to be a number of frameworks that are out there. Or insert whatever your thing is. If there's already proven systems and frameworks that are out there, think like AI. Go find that tool, that thing, and then give AI instructions to coach you in that process where AI is doing most of the thinking. You're just filling in the blanks. Way easier. Way easier. You can become, like, I didn't used to think this was possible. Now I'm changing my mind. If you think like AI, you can actually become an expert at a lot of things by using proven systems that are already inside the tool.
I actually did that last night for a client. We're doing a package design based on other package designs that are already out there. And we had to pick a different color. And he was like, "Are you sure about that color?" And I went to ChatGPT to suggest a color for this type of homeopathic product and the benefits it provides. And we were pretty close. We picked a purple, but they were saying purple or blue or something in between, you know, like a lavender. And so I sent him the report. I haven't heard back from him yet, but I was really proud of it. It was like, well, act as a creative director. And what would you say here, you know?
Yeah, and that's exactly right, Bridget. Good for you. I mean, to think like that, because there's no point in not using this. In fact, I'd go even further, go so far as to say, if you don't use the tool, you're going to get left behind. Because those of us who figure this out and continue to work with the tool and master the tool, we're just better than you. Sorry. And it's not that we as individuals are better than you. We thinking like AI and using AI are going to be better than you, better than anybody. So, you know, very cool. So thanks for bringing that. And thanks for something that I think would help a lot of people, just thinking like the tool.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your help.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Excellent call, folks. Thank you so much. Richly, tell us about next week.
Next week.
Tell us the date. And again, it's a can't miss, guys, because we're talking product launches, which is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. We're jumping on at 5 o'clock Eastern time, Thursday, April 4th. Thursday, April 4th, 5 Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific. And we will be talking launches and what's going on in launches and how can you use AI to help you with launches. And by the way, launches, you know, we're not just going to talk straight product launch formula, 3-step sequence. We're going to talk launches in general, launching a product, ongoing launches, evergreen launches.
How to get JV support.
Yeah. So
yeah, it'd be awesome.
All right.
But let me ask Bridget a question. Okay, Bridget, what happened when Bluebeard fell overboard in the Red Sea? What happened when Bluebeard fell overboard in the Red Sea? Yes, you're close. He got marooned.
Okay, that was terrible. That was actually better than usual. I gotta say, we'll give him something better. That one got me laughing. All right, I'll see you peeps in my personal channel here in just a little while. Everybody else, have a beautiful rest of your day, rest of your week, and we'll see you next Thursday, 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Thank you, everybody. As always, a great call. We appreciate you. Ciao for now. Bye, everyone.